Cynthia Newsome, Ed Newsome, thank you all so much for taking the time to chat with me today. You and I are just having a conversation. Cynthia, you have been on quite the journey. Would you mind kind of sharing the newest update that you have with us today?
So many people know that I've been through this breast cancer journey since 2011, and I was diagnosed with metastatic a couple years ago. And then just this last week, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor. So the breast cancer tumor had metastasized to my brain. And so there's a 2-inch tumor right by my left back ear.
Your radiation therapy?
Yeah, so what we've decided to do is this is a very serious thing. And it's important to me that we make the right decision. And I've always been very public about my faith and how we, walk in faith and trust in God and believe to try to get the right decision made for the best outcome. And so, we're going to go with this whole brain radiation therapy. And so that's the excitement part of it. It's very Star Wars. You are on this device, on a platform, and they send the radiation through your brain to get to the tumor, but not just the tumor, also to get to the other breast cancer cells that are in the brain, so we don't have a less chance of recurrence.
So how often are you going to be going with this radiation therapy?
So it's 10 treatments, and it's about 15 minutes of treatment, and it's it's just 1, 2, 3 back to back to back, except weekends, and so it should be done by mid June.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You said you went in because of a headache? You felt a headache?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because, we don't like pain at all, but pain can be a true sign that something's wrong, and so you need to see what's happening. And so I had major headaches, very, very bad headaches, especially after my chemotherapy treatments. And then that's where Ed kind of stepped in and said,
well, I said, your head's not hurting, it's hurting for a reason. So we need to get in there and get a brain MRI done. So we went in and we just said to the nurse, she's got headaches, and we were insisting on a brain MRI. And so that's when that process started. Mm-hmm. And we ended up, she ended up admitted to the hospital that same day. And the MRI happened on late that night. And we found the results the next morning.
What went on in your head?
Well, we knew that something was wrong and had to be done. And we just wanted to get to the bottom line. And no matter what it was, we've always, and we will continue to believe and walk in faith. That's who we are.
We're just trusting God. I mean, we're excited about what's happening. We understand the seriousness of it. I mean, this is your brain. It controls every function of your entire body. And anything could go wrong, but we are just expecting a miracle. And we're standing, we've got lots of people standing and, praying with us, and, God is sovereign and we are in God's hands. And so we just leave it at that and trust God.
Cynthia, something you told me just yesterday when we were talking on the phone, you said, I still have work to do.
I do. I still have some things I want to do, I'm still very much involved with Awesome Ambitions. Of course, during this medical time, I'm going to have to step aside, but we're still going to have our Awesome Ambitions personality event on July 26th. And so that preparation is going on, and it's my hope that once I get through treatment and recovery, that'll be my first appearance. It will be at the Awesome Ambitions personality fashion show and purse auction. So I'm excited about that.
You also shared photos with me of you all at church sharing what is currently going on. Ed, what was the conversation you had with the congregation about Cynthia's journey?
Well, it was interesting because I kind of took over. And I just wanted the church to know that that they are part of our family, and that we are all walking in faith, and that I will have to do more cooking now.
And the laundry.
I will have to do the laundry now that she has not allowed me to do. So if anyone wants to do our laundry, and people have been in, church has been so wonderful, Pastor Edwards. They have been bringing food already and doing those kinds of things already. But I just wanted the church and the community to know that we're not afraid, that we're here for the long haul.
And I like sharing my story because there are so many other people who are going through what I'm going through as well. And it's comforting and encouraging, and I hope I'm inspiring them that we are walking this walk together, and it's a faith walk. There's no guarantees. But it's an exciting, trusting step of faith that we're taking, and we're expecting a miracle. And I just can't wait for it to happen.
You know, you have been sharing this since 2011, Cynthia, and you have inspired so many people who probably have reached out to you, some people who maybe reach out to you in silence. What does it feel like for you to know that you have prayer warriors for you that you may have not even met yet?
It's really humbling for people to take their personal time and pray for me, and they don't, you know, they've maybe never met me, they don't know who I am, but they know what I'm going through and they care. And so if we can create that kind of caring community all over, you know, Kansas City, and just realize you don't know what somebody's maybe going through, but think about it and whisper a prayer for them, you know, do an act of kindness for them, you know, lift out your hands and offer a prayer and show love.
It's amazing. Is there anything else you two want to add that maybe I didn't ask, a main message you really want to hit home to when viewers see this story?
What do you think?
Well, I think it's necessary that we all stay in touch with our bodies, you know, that we get our medical treatments done, keep our appointments, and stay in touch with our body. And those things that we can do, like eat well and sleep well, that I'm talking to myself about now. But there's a lot that we can do for ourselves. And so, but we're always available to help and to help pick others up. And so that's why we're doing what we do on television. And that's why we've done it for 14 years, actually. And people are still seeing that and say, because I saw your segment on TV, I've taken greater steps to take care of myself. And so, and even through this last bout with us, and as relates to our own church, we have commenced to increase in our care and compassion ministry at the church, because other people are being helped. And so we want this to spread throughout the community, you know, where we can, but not just care about ourselves, but care about others who are around us.
Yeah. And you know, Cynthia, I gotta ask, like, hearing this news again in a different, were you scared at all? Like, what was going on in your head? I mean, and of course you walk by faith, right? And you have talked about that time and time again. And I gotta ask, were you scared, and how did you turn, if you were, that fear into faith?
You know, I knew something was wrong with my head. I knew it, but I didn't think it was metastatic breast cancer of the brain. And so when I got the MRI that night, it was like midnight, and I got the results in the 9 o'clock in the morning the next day, but it wasn't surprising. And so instead of fear, there was a peace. It was like, oh, so now we know, now we've identified what's wrong. Okay, what's the treatment? What are we going to do now? What are the options? And we had different people come in and give us consults about different options, and we chose the whole brain radiation therapy. And that's a serious thing because they're sending radiation throughout the whole brain, you know, all around the cracks and crevices and curves, and as well as getting that tumor out. And so we just think when that's over, the battle will be over. I mean, you never stop, you know, you have to continue, but we think that's going to be a big part of the battle that's going to be over.
Gotcha.
So.
No, and I don't think there was fear, because fear basically means false evidence that appears to be real. And so, but we take whatever the diagnosis is, and we walk in that, and we work with that, and we expect it to come out on top.
Come on. And Cynthia, one of my last questions for you. Ed has been through with you. Woo. The good, the bad, the ugly. I remember.
I know you have.
You were singing karaoke and Ed was up there. You have gone through this incredible and heavy journey. To know that you have a person who continues to show up by your side. What does that mean for you?
Oh, it's everything. It's true love. You know, it's the love of God. It's the love when you're lovely or you're not lovely. You know, he still loves me, and he's here for me. And one of the most powerful things I remember is when I originally just had breast cancer, and I said, what if it comes back? Because that's a reality. It's a truth. I mean, we're not trying to pretend that reality doesn't exist. That's you know, it's a possibility. And so I said, what if the cancer comes back? And he said, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. And he hasn't. And he's been here, and it's been beautiful and hard, and there's trying times, and there's, you know, quiet times and prayerful times. And I just thank God for my husband. And so when you have someone who is a support like that, you know, to love them and care for them and let them know what they mean to you. And so I just want to say I love you, and thank you so much, honey, for standing with me all this time and helping me. And here we go.
Well, I'm here. I had an interesting experience the other day because she had her wig off. And I walked to her and I just started kissing her bald head. I said, wow, I got a new kiss spot.
That is beautiful. Well, I am praying so hard for both of you. And through this journey, Cynthia, I just love you immensely. And to know you is just to love you so much. If people are watching this and there's any way they can support you or your mission or what you're trying to do as much as they can support you in this journey, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to do an act of kindness, you know, to someone, you know, and show them the love of the Lord. Because I can't right now, because I'm going to be in treatment and, you know, having to be careful, and, you know, I'm not going to be out there doing those kinds of things. And it would be so cool to know that people are out there, you know, showing each other love and helping each other and encouraging one another and asking each other, how are you? How can I help you? All those things that you want to do for me, do for someone else, write it down. And it would be super cool just to get, you know, little emails on our station Facebook page about what's going on and what's still happening. So I feel like I'm still, that's kind of part of me out there doing something. Because, you know, I'm always in community, always wanting to help, you know, help my Awesome Ambitions girls, honestly, help different schools, you know, I mean, I just love to be able to help people grow and learn and develop and be prepared for life.